Hello, and welcome back to Fate Stay Night. I'm hoping to cover the rest of the route in this session. I might split it into two videos. I might not, depending how long it is. Anyway, with that, let us continue. I managed to make it home, hitting on Saber's shoulders. The wound in my chest hasn't completely healed. According to Saber, I'll need to lie still for a few hours. Biting my lip, I curse my body for refusing to listen, even though I know what I need to do now.
シロ、何か今、よからぬことを考えませんでしたか?
No, I wasn't thinking about anything.
まったく、あまり無茶を言うと怒りますからね。戦いは傷が完治してからです。最後の戦いになるのですから、お互い万全の体制で臨みましょう。
Yeah, we're better preparing ourselves and getting impatient. I'm thinking about where Kodamine went, about how to defeat Gilgamesh. There's just so much we need to consider. For now, though, we need to rest and wait until night. At that moment, my mind freezes. There's nobody inside. The house feels different. Mingled with the smell of something burning, I just pick out the strong scent of blood. I run. I ignore my chest wound. I run to shake off the chill running down my back. I run through the corridor, torn a current past the familiar curtain that divides one room of the house from another, and the scene that greets me is anything but familiar. Suck. My voice trembles. I don't know what happened. All I know is Sasaka's looking at me weakly.
やっと帰ってきた。まったく、もうちょっとで寝ちゃうところだったじゃない。バカ。
What is she saying? Looks like she's really struggling to speak, but she tries to make conversation like nothing's wrong. Don't talk to her. We need to stop the bleeding. Saber, get some towels and a washboard full of warm water from the bathroom. Saber nods and turns to run from the bathroom. Bandages. I need bandages and some Stypic. I don't think Stypic will be enough for this. Damn, I need a doctor. I need a knock. Call a doctor. Bandages I pulled. First aid.
手当ては自分でしたから、医者はいらない。それより、もっと大事なことがあるでしょ。
What could be possibly more important than this? Saka's panicked, but she looks straight at me. Saka? I don't know what the hell she's trying to say. Confused, but I just don't listen to what she has to say. Sure, you're gonna be okay. There's so much blood.
いいの。一度目ぐらい自分でできる。それより、ごめん。留守を任されてたのに、私、イリアを守れなかった。
I finally put two and two together. Saka wounded, living room disarray, and Ilya gone. Did Kodamine come here? She nods. He's the only enemy there, so there wasn't much point in it. Saber and I were the only ones who knew Kodamine was her enemy. Must have been a shock for Saka. The seventh master is our teacher and gone. Don't apologize. Even you wouldn't have been able to do anything in an ambush. I know that. What have you said? You always trusted
そうね。
Kodamine.
正直甘く見てた。自分一人でもなんとかなるってうぬぼれてたみたい。
She coughs up blood. Crap, I can't let her keep talking. Let's talk later. Just don't move. We'll get you treated and then you can rest up.
お願い。けどその前に伝えておかないとダメっぽい。いいシロ。これが最後の助言だからきちんと聞きなさい。
That's ominous, but I just nod. This is serious, especially if Soda's just not telling me, even as wounded as she is. I couldn't stop her from speaking up now, even if I wanted to.
まず一つ目。琴峰の目的はイリアよ。あの子が今回の聖杯の器だって、あいつは初めから知ってたんでしょうね。
Ilias the Holy Grail?
正確にはあの子の心臓ね。魔術師っていうのは魔術回路を持った人間だけど、サーバントが残り一人になった時、あの子自体が聖杯を下ろす器になると思う。
Kodamine's taking Ilya to...
連れて行かれたわ。でも、セイバーがまだ健在なら道は開かない。琴峰だって器になるイリアをどうにかしようなんて考えないはずだ。
I can only hope so. The last one thing is an easy Severn to beat. Even if he couldn't defeat Gilgamesh, he might at least have been able to run away. I also have to hope he did. This is what we kind of tell Saka. Got it. I'll go sleep with it, so don't
そ
worry.
う。じゃあ2つ目。琴峰の居場所だけど、きっと竜道寺だと思う。聖杯の高齢場所としてあそこ以上の場所はないもの。教会はもう引き払ってるだろうし、隠れてるとしたらあの寺だから。
Got it. Kurumine is at Ryudo Temple. You don't even seem to have the strength to move her head, but she nods.
じゃあ最後、あなたじゃ綺麗にはかなわない。それでも戦う？
That question, she's not asking as a friend, but as a mage who truly understands the situation. It feels like there is a way. It feels like there is a way. It really does feel like there is a way. Or I do have to look. Okay. This session, this decision does not matter actually, but I will still. Okay, so okay. Let me just pull out of the thing real quick and just say I'm planning on doing a video after the fact that I just like look through the alternate scenes that I missed and an alternate ending that's kind of dependent on Saber's point count being lower than 6. So that is very much an after the route is done thing. Anyway. So let me get back here. Do you have something in mind, Tasaka? I'm going to settle things quickly. Even if I don't have a chance of winning, I can't run away. But if Tasaka has a plan, I'll hear her out no matter what it is.
残念ながら。けど選別をあげる。ご信用のものだけど、何もないより役に立つわ。
Tasaka reaches behind her and pulls out a single dagger. This is a well-known dagger, perhaps even famous. It is used for rituals rather than for battle. It's a magic wand shaped with a sword, used to form magic circles and intervene in mystics that have taken shape. The word Azoth is engraved in the tool on the handle. Its blade isn't as long as a typical dagger, which probably fits Tasaka's preferences anyway. This is the Azoth blade, a sword favored by a famous scholar of mystics who took the world by storm some time ago. It is meant for mages to prove that their training is complete. The Azoth blade is not like the sort of gift one receives for getting into a college. Tasaka, what is this?
見ればわかるでしょう。私の探検よ。 宝石に比べればビビたるものだけど、それでも気が向いた時には魔力を込めてた。レストって叫んで、ありったけの魔力を流し込めば発動するから。
She hands me the dagger. It's surprisingly heavy. Not physically heavy, rather I feel the weight of Tasaka's memories in the dagger. Tasaka, you're sure about my name is
いいのよ。綺麗に勝てないって分かって最後まで隠し通したんだから。このまま使わないのも尺だし、あんたが使って。
Okay, I'll take it. Honestly, more weapons
な
can
んだ
hurt.
分かってるじゃない。ならもういいかな。いい加減もう眠くて眠くて。
She laughs, embarrassed. The next thing I know is Saber standing behind me waiting to treat Tasaka. Go ahead and sleep. I'll wake you up in the morning. Then I'll make you a nice big
そ
meal.
うする。最後に、これは忠告じゃなくて命令。シロ、やるからには死んでも勝ちなさい。私が起きた時、あんたがくたばってたら許さないから。
No. She looks like she said everything she wants to say. Instead, Tasaka drifts right off to sleep. She looks well enough so I feel a little stupid for worrying about her. But then again, I know that's her way of cheering me on, and her words really do invigorate me. Yeah. Leave it to me, Tasaka. I know that Tasaka's sleeping for me. Everything's all set. I'll let Soph just spend these next few hours without regret while my wounds heal. Time skip. Woo. Today slowly ticks over into tomorrow. We treat Tasaka's wounds and take her to her room to rest while I make dinner and eat with Saber and Sons. Just a little longer. Most of my wounds are healed. We only have about an hour or two left. In the meantime, I'll... Now, these two here do lead to a death, but that death is also achievable with a decision later on. So I'm going to do this one, which is the correct choice. Oh, that's right. There's only one thing to do. We've always done it this way. So we should do the same right to the end. It's not romantic and it's not elegant, but sitting across from each other and coming up with a plan of action suits me and Saber best.
シロ、対策を練るのはいいのですが、何もここでなくとも良いのではないですか?
Actually, it has to be here. Let's just go in. I have something in mind.
ああ、シロがそういうのでしたら従いますが。
Saber reluctantly follows into the shed. Okay, now, there's a reason I had Saber go inside the shed. Right now, we have neither a plan nor the means to defeat Gilgamesh. So it goes without saying that we need something extra. Title drop. So, I'm taking the save here. Yes. Oh, wait, this is going much quicker. These two lead to death. This one is the correct one. Strengthen Saber. I'm going to strengthen Saber right where I summoned her. I'm not sure I can do that, but it's worth trying.
私に強化をかけるですか?
Good idea. Yeah, I know how hard the past battles going through humans other than yourself, but this is all I've got. The only thing I can really do is try and make a stronger Saber. That's right, even if I try making a new weapon with projection, I won't be able to make anything stronger than Excalibur. With Gilgamesh's noble phantasm overwhelming the sacred sword, there's no point in giving Saber a new weapon. There's no other option but to make Saber herself stronger. Probably not a great chance of success here, and it might be uncomfortable for you, but at least want to try. I feel bad for treating you like a thing. Stop talking about strength. Please forgive me.
何を言うのです。私は不快な思いなどしません。シローがそう言ってくれるのなら、喜んでこの身を差し出しましょう。
Much one way to phrase it. Saber takes my hand and agrees to my plan.
マスターを信頼しています。私の耐魔力を一時的に弱めますから、その間にシローの魔術を流してください。
Saber entrusts her body to me while she holds my hand. Got it. Bear with me for a little bit, Saber. I concentrate and read Saber's body, her blueprint. I have less than a 10% chance of success. I cast off my indecisiveness and activate the strengthening Magecraft with unprecedented clarity. The Magecraft spell ends. I used almost all my remaining magical energy to strengthen Saber. What do you think, Saber? Do you feel anything? I know the magical energy flowed in. I know the magical energy. Jesus. I know the magical energy flowed into you, and I think you've gotten stronger.
シローにも成否はわからないのですか? その外見的に鋭さが増したとか、破壊力が向上したとか伝わっていませんか?
No, I can't tell. It might be called strengthening, but we won't know unless we actually try it out. With magical energy flowing through you, all we have to do is see the end result.
ああ、なるほど。強化された木刀が強くなったぞと宣言することはありませんし、外見も変わらないのですよね。恥ずかしながら私も実感が持てないというか、正直以前とあまり変化はありません。
Got it. I guess I wasted both of our time.
いいえ、決して無駄ではありません。シローの魔術は正しく作用しました。体は強くならずとも、今は心が温かい。この熱がある限り、私は決して倒れません。シローは私を強くしてくれました。
Saber has accepted my Magecraft, and she's the one who made me stronger. Her words express my fear and hesitation. Saber is the only one feeling warmth in her hearts. As long as I hold on to this feeling, I won't be afraid to fight. The moon hangs high in the sky. The clouds have finally cleared, and the black of night is giving way to indigo. It will be dawn soon. The long night is about to end. It will be the last one. During the night, Saber and I travel to our final destination.
シロ、これは。
I hear the tension in Saber's voice. She's not the only one. As I quietly nod, I feel a cold sweat trickling down my neck. The mountain feels like a living thing. Chills run down my spine. Stifling pressure assails me with every step I take. The air is thick and damp.
マナの密度が高い。10年前と同じです。おそらく上ではもう。
The summoning of the Holy Grail has begun. Maybe it's even over by now. Either way, Gilgamesh has probably defeated Lancer. Let's go over it one more time, Saber. Once we reach the top, the only thing left will be the fight. You take care of Gilgamesh and I'll take care of the Master, Kodamine. Neither of us will get involved in the other's fight. If one of us defeats their opponent, that'll be the end of it.
ええ。今回だけは私は自分の戦いに専念します。それに、琴峰はあなたが倒すべき敵だ。
Right? Yeah, leave him to me. And Saber, don't let him defeat you.
はい。誇りにかけて彼には負けるわけにはいかない。サーバントとしてではなく、英霊としてかの王に膝を屈することはできません。
There's no longer hesitation or worry in her voice. I don't need to say anything else to her. We will head to battle and determine the final master in this work. But if in the process, if one of us dies, the survivor just has to kill their opponent. Even if I'm defeated, as long as Saber defeats Gilgamesh, Kodamine won't be able to get his hands on the Grail. At the same time, if Saber is defeated but I defeat Kodamine, Gilgamesh can't stay manifested, so we don't have to cover for each other. This battle is now each of ours alone. And so we climb the stone steps. The closer we get to the temple gate, the denser the air gets. The red phosphorescence dances in the wind. The whole place is too brightly lit for a night time. The air is heavy with death. It reminds me of that fire 10 years ago, but it's different. Bound up in the red light, I spy something that looks like it's going to ooze out over the temple itself. It's out past the bottom. A glistening blackness like mucus spreads over the vivid red. Mud spreads like oil over the clear ground.
来たか。待ちわびたぞ、セイバー。
Gilgamesh stands there, haloed by the vivid red glow. He pays no mind to the blood-red glow or the death-shrouded blackness. The servant armored in gold waits in the middle of the temple grounds for Saber and Saber alone.
頃合いも良い。聖杯もようやく重い腰を上げ、穴が開いたところだ。この呪いこそが聖杯の中。我らサーバントをこの世に留める第三要素。10年前、お前が俺に浴びせたものだ。
Gilgamesh has eyes only for Saber. Saber is similarly focused on him. She steps forward and points her sword at the knight in front of her.
いい気概だ。俺には勝てないと知った上でなおその闘志。宴の終わりを飾るにふさわしいが。邪魔はいらぬ。そこの雑種。琴峰に用があるのなら早々に消えろ。奴は祭壇で貴様を待っている。
Kodamine is waiting. I glance at Saber. She gives a slight nod, her eyes still on Gilgamesh. As I leave, I feel her wishing me luck. I turn around. My opponent is elsewhere, behind me. As I run, I hear the sound of Saber's deadly battle begin. Deep in the ground, behind Geodo temples built the same building a large lake. It's been untouched for a long time, making it seem sacred, like it's inhabited by a dragon god. The lake's clear blue water so pure and clean, without a trace of cloudiness. At least that was true until yesterday. The lake is far from pure now. Red phosphorescence spreads up before it. It's a sea of dark, murky tar, and yellow holoclasm yawns in midair. The body of the young girl floating near and off. Kodamine! I'm trying to remain calm on the but that sight drives me over the edge. I stop and glare at the enemy.
よく来たな、エミヤシロ。最後まで残ったただ一人のマスターへ。
The end of his lips curl up in a smile and he spreads his arms in greeting. Our final battle will be fought here. This will be the summoning altar in the Holy Grail War. Put down Ilya. I'll thrash you after that. I glare at Kodamine. We're about 10 meters apart. As soon as I take another step, the battle will begin. Once the battle starts, my only option is to rush him and stab him in the chest. But before that, I need to do something about Ilya. Hey, did you hear me? I told you to put Ilya down. What kind of scum are you taking pleasure in tormenting a child like that?
気持ちはわかる。 それはできない相談だな。聖杯は現れたが、その穴は未だ不安定だ。接点である彼女には命の続く限り耐えてもらわねば、私の願いは叶わない。
As long as her life lasts, then Ilya still lives. If you have no intention of bringing her down, I have to make you. I'm gonna stop your wish to this dark mud right here, right now.
なるほど。お前にはこれが私の望みに見えるわけか。さすがはキリツグの息子だな。よもや2代にわたって思い違いを続けるとは。聖杯を理解し得ぬ者にわざわざ説いてやる真理はない。その思い違いを抱いたまま、最後のマスターとして責務を果たすがいい。
What? I kick off as quickly as I can. There's only about 10 meters between him and me, but I jump to the side, maintaining the distance. Rather than acting on my desire to kill him, my instincts kick in to help me avoid death. I slip sideways and roll on the ground. I go tumbling across the ground, scrambling to look up. That was... I glance back to where I'd been running. The ground is on fire. The dark mud spreading over the lake is steaming. It's like a dark carpet. The mud coils and lunges at me, snapping like a whip. It leaves a searing welt on the ground.
言い忘れていたが、すでにお前は私の射程に入っている。加えてこれは生き物に敏感でな。動き回るのは勝手だが、不用意に動くと死ぬぞ。
I leap out of the way of the black mud as it strikes at me once again. To hell with darting around blindly. This bastard's intent on killing me. You damn fake priest. I reposition myself, keeping an eye on the lake. I'm no closer to Kodamine. Looks like he's gonna keep me 10 meters away. That muddy tentacle seems to be able to stretch endlessly. It follows no matter how far I retreat, and it's not the only one.
ほう、やる気か。それは喜ばしい。このまま立ち去るのなら殺しようがなかったが、お前本人が争うのであれば問題はない。何しろこれでも神に仕える身だ。助けを求める者を殺めるわけにもいかなくてな。
Tentacle twists toward me. It looms over the lake, its sickle-shaped head like a dog serpent. I bite my lip. I'm about the worst possible situation here. More and more tentacles emerge from the lake. I'm not sure how much longer I can even survive, to say nothing of getting near Kodamine.
勝機がないのは当然だ。お前の生きた年数と私の生きた年数では大きく開きがある。何かで掛け算でもしない限り埋められる差ではあるまい。
The priest raises his hands. He stares at the heavens like a conductor leading an orchestra.
命をかけろ。あるいはこの身に届くかもしれん。
The serpent surges forward. I try to kick away the mud clinging to my ankles. My clothes are burnt and my skin is exposed. I jump away from the lunging tentacle. I can't feel my mud-coated right ankle, and I wasn't entirely sure I even still had my right leg until I used it to leap away. I check my body while I roll. I go, yeah, it's still there. Just can't feel it. It's more or less attack. I can still pull it out. I jump in another direction to avoid the mud's relentless attack. Beside me, I hear a splash. The scent of bread and earth wakes my dizzy head, and I push myself back to my feet. A burning sensation sears its way down my back. What the hell? I shake it off and jump toward the closest to the ground. The mud's pursuit relents. I can no longer see any of the black mud that's around me. Bite my lip. I dodged and ran all over the place, but in the end, I'm right back here. I calm my breathing and look at him to at least show he hasn't broken my spirit. Kodamine has not moved at all. He just watched me running around. No matter how many deep breaths I take, my heart won't stop pounding. It's warning me that its stomach needs rest. My heart is ready to burst if I don't rest. And so rapidly it's thumping in my chest. It's all but jumping out of my mouth at this point. I can't do anything. I can't get near Kodamine. I can't stop that black man. There's not enough time for me to hold back by using projection. It's my only hope. If there's no way forward, I just have to project the saber sword again. Chiba will cut through that black mud and give me a chance to rush Cody.
なんだそれで終わりか諦めたのならそうと言え
The moment he speaks. A tidal wave of mud crashes over me. I look up just in time to dodge. The mud itself isn't bad. It's slow compared to Saber's strikes when she responds, and it doesn't change direction, so it's easy to dodge. But that only applies when there's just one tentacle. I can't handle multiple attacks at once, or those that strike from behind as soon as I've dodged another. That's right. As a result, I can only move around and still mud slowly covers me. Get away! There's no time to rest. I'm not going to be able to use my projection. Projection requires me to form an image of a weapon from the very beginning, so I need at least a full minute of concentration. But if I give Kodamine an opening like that, the only thing left of me will be smoking bones. Everywhere the mud touches me, I go numb. At least it's not painful, but if that mud covers my entire body, I might not even know whether I'm dead or alive. If that happens, I'm a goner. I'd not away the bones. Tell me what, if I'm going to have any chance of getting near, I might just have to do something about this. I can't believe it. I picked now of all times to trip. Kodamine stares down at me as if I were a piece of trash. He puts a finger at me and several snakeheads rear up from the lake. What the? Get up. I try to get up before you. I fall. The snakes pursue me, but I still fall. Why? Black mud splashes over the back of my neck. Why? Now that I look closer, my right leg is entirely black. Oh. Black mud rains down on me like a torrential downpour. It engulfs my entire body, and all I can do is await the oncoming tide of despair. I knew. Yes. Let me see the. Yay.
ここぞという時に武器がない。
そんなあなたを助けるタイガー道場開幕です。さて、勝敗とは戦いを始める前に決定しているっていうのが一般論よね。
Thank you.
はい、その心は弟子1号。何の策も武器もなしに戦いに挑んじゃダメってことかな。
うん。敵は金に明かして最強部隊を揃えている反則サーバント。なら、こっちも一つぐらいは逆転可能な武器を用意しておくべきです。
This sounds like a trick. Probably because it is.
決戦前夜からやり直してなんか新しい武装を用意しろっていうの？そんな一朝一夕で何ができるっていうのよ。
これができるのだ。セイバーちゃんの宝具はもともと3つ。その最後の1つを用意してあげれば、
Okay.
あとはなんとかなるってもんよ。
So the second part.
そっか、返せばいいんだ
Thank
ね。
you. Yes, yes. That's what I planned on doing.
カエサルのものはカエサルへ。なくすには惜しいものだったけど、やっぱり広いものは持ち主に返さないとね。
ほら、大河にしてはいいこと言うのね。
It didn't work properly. Hang on.
腐っても学校の先生ってところかしら。
あはっはっはっは。
Don't feed her,
Homete,
Rico.
homete.
Quit feeding her head.
はいはい。それじゃあ、大河がいい気分のうちに嬉しいお知らせをしちゃいます。本編の端っこでつつましく続いていたこのコーナーだけど、なんと今回で最終回。
No!
次回からは装いも新たにタイガー道場第2部タイガー夫妻1億円編
100 million
が
yen.
始まるよ。
That sounds about right, yeah.
次は舞台を私の後ろに移して立ち絵も音楽も発売ハードも一新。
Hang on, I have to do a quick conversion. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million. It's only $600,000 in debt.
制作費も倍になっておまけコーナーとは思えない充実ぶりになるんだから。
This angle makes it look like Ilya has an ahogi.
なんか重ねてめでたいな。よくわからないけど、ウォーズからメタルスに CG が変わるようなものかしらね。
I'm just gonna pretend I understand that.
そうっす師匠。次からはこんないかにもやっつけ仕事な立ち絵から解放されるのです。
素晴らしい。そうと決まればさっさとこんな道場ともおさらばしましょ
じゃあみんな心機一転したタイガー道場で待ってるよ。
Anyway, back to the the thing. So I went with that. Let's do this. I should return the sheath to its rightful owner. I don't know if it'll work, but I have to try. Even Saber, but Saber did manage to put her hand into my body to check whether the sheath was there. It's probably not impossible to extract.
それは本気ですか、シロ？
I do. The sheath was yours to begin with, so returning it just makes sense. Plus, with that, you might have a better chance of beating him.
確かにサヤが戻れば私の魔力も上がります。ですがそれでもギルガメッシュに勝てる保証はありません。それにサヤを摘出してしまったらシロはどうするのです。サヤを取ってしまえばもう。
I no longer heal so rapidly from whatever injury I might sustain, but that's normal. I've relied on this regeneration too much. Nobody should be anymore. I shouldn't keep it anymore. Take the sheath, Saber. This is absolutely what we need to win. Saber bites her lip, not answering. I'm not sure how long this moon stretches out between us. The clouds in the sky drift by, and as the moonlight starts to shine through the window.
わかりました、マスター。あなたの心をお借りします。
Saber nods, her hesitation gone.
それでは始めます。準備はいいですか、シロ？
Yeah, don't hesitate. Just go ahead. Saber begins. Her hand presses against my chest. And sinks in. My job here is simple. The process of extracting the sheath is similar to project the sacred sword's sheath. Boy, that's the tongue twister for me. Has integrated itself throughout my body. I just have to collect all the dispersed bits of it and reform them into the sheath. This is all just my impression of what's going on there. I may say I'm reforming it into the sheath, but I'm just gathering the waves of magical energy. Saber is the one who will give it shape. She, the original owner, forms the shapeless bundle of magical energy into the sheath itself. I'm just helping her. It's like making something from nothing. The scattered pieces of the sacred sword sheath are reproduced with precision and painstaking care, without a single error. My body grows hot. The projection is way beyond my means. It eats away at my body every time I use it. It destroys my nerves, burns my skin, and even has the power to cripple my brain. But it's the only weapon I have, and it could be the one thing that might help Saber. I think back to when I saw her in my dreams. The golden sheath fit for the king of knights to carry into battle. The legendary sheath that protected its owner and led her to so many victories, or produced it vividly, without deviation, and as beautiful as it ever. And no matter the end of waiting us, I won't ever forget this. I will engrave the image on my mind. I hear Saber's voice. I feel something that was within me for the longest time escape from my body.
すごい。見事です、シロ。ここまで完璧に戻せるなんて他の誰にもできません。
It must have come out great as Saber so elated it surprises me. My body is still searing hot that I just topple face first onto the ground.
あ、シロ、すごい汗です。今拭くものを持ってきます。
Saber hurries back toward the house. As I listen to her footsteps, I take a deep breath. I think that turned out great. It's perfect. I don't think anything else I project will ever turn out so perfect. See ya. Thanks for everything. I bid farewell to the thing that had been part of me for so long. The golden sheath that protected her. I'll never ever forget it. Though it's left my body, its form has been forever engraved into my heart. The moon hangs high in the sky. The clouds have finally cleared up and the black of night is giving way to indigo. It will be dawn soon. The long night is about to end. It will be the last one. During the night, Saber and I travel to our final destination.
シロ、これは。
I hear the tension in Saber's voice. She's not the only one. As I quietly nod, I feel a cold sweat trickling down my neck. The mountain feels like a living thing. Chills run down my spine. Stifling pressure assails me with every step I take. The air is thick and damp.
マナの密度が高い。10年前と同じです。おそらく上ではもう。
The summoning of the Holy Grail has begun. Maybe it's even over by now. Either way, Gilgamesh has probably defeated Lancer. Let's go over it one more time, Saber. Once we reach the top, the only thing left will be to fight. We need the fight. You take care of Gilgamesh, and I'll take care of the Master Kodamine. Neither of us will get involved in the other's fights. If one of us defeats the opponent, that'll be the end of it.
ええ、今回だけは私は自分の戦いに専念します。それに琴峰はあなたが倒すべき敵だ。
Right, yeah, leave it to me. Saber, don't let it beat.
はい、誇りにかけて彼には負けるわけにはいかない。サーバントとしてではなく英霊としてかの王に膝を屈することはできません。
There is no longer hesitation or worry in her voice. I don't need to say anything else to her. We'll head to battle and determine the final master in this war. But if in the process, if one of us dies, the other survivor just has to kill their opponent. Even if I'm defeated, as long as Saber defeats Gilgamesh, Kodamine won't get his hands on the Holy Grail. At the same time, if Saber is defeated but I defeat Kodamine, Gilgamesh can't stay manifested. So we don't have to cover for each other. This battle's now each of ours alone. So we climb the stone steps. The closer we get to the temple gate, the denser the air gets. Sweat trickles down my back. An ominous premonition creeps over me. At the top of the stone staircase, our greatest enemies await us. But I don't really care about that. We go up the stairs, closer and closer to the temple gate. Everything will be over. No matter who wins this battle, Saber will disappear. The endless but fleeting days of fighting will finally be over, and Saber will disappear from the world. She will return to her time where she belongs. And I can't say I don't have any regrets. I'm gonna lose Saber. I'm gonna lose the person I vowed to protect, the person I most want to be happy. Even now, I don't know just how painful that will be. For now, we're still walking together and I can feel her presence. I'm not prepared to lose her, even if I knew a few days before. Even if from that moment we met, I knew we would eventually part ways. Thinking back, we made so many memories. We walked together some nights, fought together some nights. At first I did everything I could prevent Saber girl from fighting. She also kicked my ass in the dojo. I also slept in the shed because I was too embarrassed to sleep in a room right next to hers. We ate lunch together. Saber liked baths, she liked my cooking, liked the clothes Tasaka brought her, and she had incoherent conversations with Fujimi. She pushed herself and shouldered all the burdens herself and finally collapsed, and then we explored the depths of our hearts in the rooms. Things took a turn after that. I couldn't stop thinking about Saber. My purpose for fighting changed, and I realized I loved her. How can I lose someone like that? Saber doesn't say anything. I can't think of anything to say either. Once we've climbed the stairs and reached the top, there'll be nothing for us to talk about. A little while later, I'll lose Saber and have to say goodbye, but this is the only time we have to say goodbye. We climb the stairs. If I want to avoid saying goodbye, I just have to chatter about insignificant stuff like before. For example, let's go to town when we go home. What should we eat for breakfast tomorrow? Big significant stuff. I can't even seem to do that though. I guess whatever I say, this could end up being our last words. A clear end. Neither Saber nor I could say a clear goodbye. And now we're at the temple gate. This is my last chance. If we proceed, it'll all be over. But if we go back, maybe I can think of something that would stop me from losing her. Saber. I stop and turn to Saber. She is the same as ever. Her face is composed, but her eyes seem tense like she's trying to hold something new. The moment I see those eyes, I'm assailed by temptation on all sides. Temptation to run away, temptation to turn back so I don't lose her, temptation to tell her what I really want to, showing me she'll accept. My resolve wavers. The temptations are begging, itching to be voiced. I bite my tongue. Let's go. This will be our final battle. I tell her just like usual as our master. Saber nods silently. I see the strength in her eyes, full of resolve as they always are. I won't make any requests. The same way she believes in me, I'm going to believe I made the right choice. I cross the threshold of the temple gate. There's no turning back now. I can't say anything. Not that I could say what I really wanted anyway. But I want to at least believe that this frustrated silence managed to convey my feelings. We finished climbing long stone stairs. This is our final memory of our time together here on this earth. The summit is bathed in a crimson glow. Wind whips at my face, seeming to come from that red light somewhere at the rear of the temple grounds. The air is heavy with death. It reminds me of that fire 10 years ago. But it's different. Bound up in the red light, I space something that looks like it's going to ooze out over the temple itself. It's out past the building. A glistening blackness like mucus spreads over the vivid red. Mud spreads like oil over the clear ground. It oozes over the ground, contaminating it, killing everything it touches. It's like a visible curse. Even a mage like me, still in training as I am, understands that stuff only acts on the human psyche. It won't only swallow human bodies.
来たか。待ちわびたぞ、セイバ
Gilgamesh stands there, haloed by the vivid red glow. He pays no mind to the blood-red glow or the death-shrouded blackness. The servant armored in gold waits in the middle of the temple grounds for Saber and Saber alone.
頃合いも良い。聖杯もようやく重い腰を上げ、穴が開いたところだ。この呪いこそが聖杯の中。我らサーバントをこの世に留める第三要素。10年前、お前が俺に浴びせたものだ。
Gilgamesh has eyes only for Saber. Saber is singularly focused on him. She steps forward and points her sword at the knight in front of her.
ギルガメッシュ、あなたの目的は何だ？あの呪い、聖杯と偽っていたものを使って何を望む？
望みなどないと言っただろう。琴峰が聖杯をどう扱おうと俺は知らん。今のところ俺の関心はお前だけだ。
As if to answer, the golden knight raises one arm. At the same time, a shimmering haze forms behind him. The king's treasure, honeydew, phantasms, noble phantasms are ready in that haze like bullets loaded into a gun.
ああ、ようやくこの時が来たか。今までずーっと考えていたぞ、セイバー。嫌がるお前をどう組み伏せ、あれを飲ませるか。泣きむせぶ顔を踏みつけ、その体を染め抜くほどの泥を飲ませ、もだえ死ぬに耐えきれず俺の足元にすがりつく。その汚れ切った姿をな。
Oh no!
よく言った。ならばその身が同じ末路をたどろうと異論はないな、英雄王。
She takes another step. Saber walks right into the range of all those noble phantasms. This isn't a battle I can help with. No ordinary human can step into this battle between Saber and Gilgamesh.
それでこそセイバーよ。俺には勝てないと知った上でなおその気概。宴の終わりを飾るにふさわしいが、邪魔はいらぬ。そこの雑種、琴峰に用があるのなら早々に消えろ。奴は祭壇で貴様を待っている。
Kodamine is waiting. I glance at her. She gives a slight nod, her eyes still on Gilgamesh. As I leave, I feel her breathing her luck. I turn around. My opponent is elsewhere. Behind me, as I run, I hear the sound of saber steps as each battle begins. Deep in the grounds, behind Ryudo Temple's main building is a large lake. It's been untouched for a long time, making it seem sacred, like it's inhabited by a dragon god. The lake's clear blue water so pure and clean, with not a trace of cloudiness. At least that was true until yesterday. The lake is far from pure now. Red phosphorescence spreads up before me. It is a sea of dark, murky tar. And... oh, an in-depth look. That's exactly what I wanted to see. A hollow chasm yawns in midair, the body of a young girl floating near an offering. Kodamine! I've been trying to remain calm all this time, but that sight drives me to the edge. I stop and glare.
よく来たな、エミヤシロ。最後まで残ったただ一人のマスターよ。
The ends of his lips curl up in a smile, and he spreads his arms in greeting. Our final battle will be fought later. This will be the summoning altar in this holy ground war. Put down Ilya. I'll thrash you after that. We're about 10 meters apart. As soon as I take another step, the battle will begin. I don't know what kind of mage Kodamine is. He likely uses projectile weapons like Tasaka. On the other hand, my only option is to get close and punch him in the face. Even with Tasaka's dagger concealed behind me, I still need to get close. Once the battle starts, my only option is to launch my stab in the chest. But before that, I need to do something about Ilya. Hey, did you hear me? I told you to put Ilya down. What kind of scum are you taking pleasure in tormenting a child like
気
that?
持ちはわかるが、それはできない相談だな。聖杯は現れたが、その穴は未だ不安定だ。 接点である彼女には命の続く限り耐えてもらわねば私の願いは叶わない。
As long as her life lasts, that Ilya's still alive. You have an intention of bringing her down off the making. I'm gonna stop your wish. This dark mud right here, right now.
ほう、なるほど。お前にはこれが私の望みに見えるわけか。さすがはキリツグの息子だな。よもや2代にわたって思い違いを続けるとは。この泥は私の手によるもこれは聖杯より溢れる力、本来は万能であるはずの無色の力だ。それを黒く染めるなど人の力ではできん。この聖杯はな、初めからこうなのだ。開けてしまえば最後、際限なく溢れ出し最悪を巻き起こす。それがこの聖杯の正体だ。この中にはあらゆる悪性、人の世を分け隔てなく呪うものが詰まっている。それを操ることなど誰にもできん。
What is he talking about? If that's true, he didn't become a master because he had a wish to fulfill, but instead just so he could open this. I mean, what is your wish? I grab my teeth and glare at him. He smiles wider.
そうだな。強いて言うならば娯楽だよ。
It's such a simple answer. What?
わからないのか。例えば音楽だ。歌を楽しいと思うのはなぜだと思う。エミヤシロ。
What the hell?
では本はどうだ。物語が人を引きつけるのはなぜだと思う。
I've never thought about that. I've never thought about that sort of thing.
そう、考えるまでもない。あらゆる娯楽、人間を喜ばせるもの、それらが楽しいのは単に人間が作ったものだからだ。よいか。あらゆる創造物は人間の内より生じるもの。つまるところ、この世で最も愉快なものとは人間に他ならない。むき出しの人間こそが最高の娯楽となる。それに比べれば彼らが生み出す娯楽など二次的なものだ。そう、音楽も物語も愛憎も憐憫も信頼も裏切りも道徳も背徳も幻想も真実も全て抱きすべき不純物に過ぎ、そのようなもの所詮は残りかすに過ぎぬ二流の娯楽。私が楽しみたいのは人間そのものでな。そのような余分なものなどもはや口に合わん。そのためには営みなどという贅肉はそぎ落とさなければならない。
This guy sounds like a communist.
走馬灯というものがあるだろう。それと同じだ。人間は死の瞬間にのみ価値がある。生存という助走距離を持って高く飛び、空に届き尊く輝くもの、その瞬きこそが私の望みだ。
Actually, let me rephrase. He sounds like one of those puritanical assholes.
それがお前の求めた質問の答えだ。お前たちが平穏を糧にするように、この実は星の光を食べて生きている。
Seeing the priest give such a sermon, his arms spread wide, is strange to say the least. This guy's no Catholic. I don't want to hear this bullshit. A chill runs down my back, but not from what he said. Seeing him like that, talking about human beings, seeming somehow scared. Great is what scary teachers. So you're saying?
ああ、10年前の火災は悪くなかった。小規模ではあったが、通常ではありえない刺激に満ちていたからな。
Oh God, he's a nihilist, black pill.
So-
Fuck.
私が望むものなどその程度だ。あのような地獄にこそ魂の炸裂、人における最高のきらめきがある。
So you're just
それはお前自身も体験したことではないかな、エミヤシロ。
so you're just a sociopathic nihilist.
どうだ、無念のまま朽ちる人間の叫びは胸に迫るものがあっただろう。
Bullshit. That, how could he ever describe the hell of that day like that?
理解してくれたか。いびつな形ではあるが、私ほど人間を愛している者はいない。故に私ほど聖杯にふさわしい人間もいまい。
The priest smiles and pleads to himself. Is he saying he thinks all those people dying helplessly was a wonderful, beautiful thing? Oh, I understand, alright. I focus on my feet. Every muscle in my legs tense, ready to break into sprint. I understand that you deserve to die! I surge forward as fast as I can. He's a little less than 10 meters away. If I just head straight for my gun, I throw myself sideways. I just want to just kill him. My instincts kick in, saving me from death. I go tumbling across the ground, scrambling to look up. That was... I glance back at where I've been running. The ground is on fire. The dark smoke spreading over the lake is steaming. It's like a dark carpet. The mud coils and lunges at me, snapping like a whip. It leaves a searing welt on the ground.
言い忘れていたが、すでにお前は私の射程に入っている。加えてこれは生き物に敏感でな。動き回るのは勝手だが、不用意に動くと死ぬぞ。
I leap out of the way of the black mud as it strikes at me once again. To hell with darting around blindly. His past intent on killing me. You damn fake priest! I reposition myself, keeping an eye on the lake. I'm no closer to Code Meeting. It looks like he's trying to keep me 10 meters away. That muddy tentacle seems to be able to stretch endlessly. It follows no matter how far I retreat, and it's not the only one.
こう、やる気か。それは喜ばしい。このまま立ち去るのなら殺しようがなかったが、お前本人が争うのであれば問題はない。何しろこれでも神に仕える身だ。助けを求める者を殺めるわけにもいかなくてな。
Do you even hear yourself? I don't think that quite fits for a guy who has no problem attacking someone while their back's turned. Probably remembering what happened when I find someone to say that. Could have been last as was impressed.
そうだった。お前にはあれで愛想が尽きていた。これ以上先延ばしにする必要はない。
That is an apostrophe, not a quotation mark.
正直に言うとな、エミヤシロ。私はお前に期待していたのだ。リンがお前を教会に導いた夜、運命すら感じた。お前があの男の息子と分かり、内面まで似通っていると知った時の喜びなど分かるまい。10年前に叶わなかった望み、エミヤキリツグという男にこうしてもう一度引導を渡せるとは思わなかった。
Tentacle twists toward me. It looms over the lake, its sickle-shaped head like a dark serpent. I bite my lip. I'm about the worst possible situation here. More and more tentacles emerge from the lake. I'm not sure how much longer I can even survive, to say nothing of getting near Code Meeting.
勝機がないのは当然だ。お前の生きた年数と私の生きた年数では大きく開きがある。何かで掛け算でもしない限り埋められる差ではあるまい。
I remember this. This is what ended the previous bit. The priest raises his hands. He stares at the heavens like a conductor leading an orchestra.
命をかけろ。あるいはこの身に届くかもしれん。
The serpent spoke slowly. sparks fly in all directions. The Golden Knight steps back, evading a series of savage attacks executed with astonishing skill. She must have seen it as an opening. Saber twists away from a short sword fired at her and takes a step toward her enemy. Her shout tears through space. Her sword strikes like a comet. She presses the attack on the Golden Knight. He stumbles backward, overwhelmed by her skill and ferocity. Her sword dances, so titanic is the strength behind her every blow. Each could shatter boulders, smash down the walls of even the most impregnable fortress. The myriad deadly weapons appearing from behind her enemy turn aside every strike.
しつこい
Gilgamesh slips back from the onslaught, another sword in his hand. It's easy enough for her to repel his strikes, but she can't meet his attacks directly. Each of the enemy's weapons has abilities she simply does not know. Being struck by a weapon and not knowing what it might do is suicide. Saber steps away from her cornered enemy to compose herself. Gilgamesh, on the other hand, is not at all troubled and picks himself up.
懲りぬ女よ。何度やっても無駄だとわからぬか
Gilgamesh shows no sign of fatigue. To him, this battle is merely a bit of entertainment. He can't very well feel nervous or tired when he knows with perfect certainty that he will win. It is another matter entirely for Saber. She knows that her only shot at victory is now. Before her enemy starts taking this seriously, she needs to defeat Gilgamesh before he can use Ea, or she will lose. And so, even knowing that that may be impossible, she does not relent in her onslaught, giving no thought to her own stamina. This isn't the first time she's cornered her enemy, or the second, but she's never been able to break through his wall of noble phantasms.
まだ続けるのか主に忠誠を誓うのはいいが、それも限度があろう。今頃あの雑種は琴峰に殺されている。もはや、お前が戦う理由はなかろうよ。
私の主は健在だ。あのようなマスター相手に四郎が膝を屈するなどありえない。
それも時間の問題だ。お前は聖杯を知らぬ。あれの相手は俺でも手こずるのだぞ。お前ならいざ知らず、あのような小僧が1分と持つものか。お前は俺には勝てぬし、あやつでは琴峰に勝てん。配役を誤ったな。お前が聖杯に挑んでいれば、この戦いはお前の勝利だったろうに。
There is no amusement in the Golden Knight's eyes. He's serious, but that's wrong. To Saber, the choice itself was a mistake.
まさかこれが正しい選択だ。私は貴様になど負けぬし、四郎はあのような死者には負けない。まだ出てもいない結果を期待するとは、英雄王の名も地に落ちたというものだ。
ほう。減らず口を言うだけの体力は残っていたか。
The air around Gilgamesh twists and distorts. More and more noble phantasms appear behind him.
来るか。
She adjusts her grip on her sacred sword. In truth, there is a way. There is only one way to defeat that
だ
Golden
が
Knight.
それには
For her plan to succeed, certain conditions must be met. Even if she takes out Ash, he will still be able to defend against her attack if he has any energy left. She would also have to take A's attack head on again to be sure whether it's even possible to
エアを
defeat.
受ける。まさかいかに鞘が戻ろうとあれを受けては立ち上がれない。
But there is no other way to win. It is just a matter of how to spin that thin thread of hope into real victory. Normally her intuition would show her the best route, and she would act in accordance with what she sees, but that intuition is no help now. Perhaps her chances for victory are so slim that her intuition cannot show her the path. But she still has to fight. She has to keep fighting for Shiro, who surrendered his own defense by returning the sheath to her. She cannot let this man defeat her.
そうか。どうやら決定的な敗北でなければ納得がいかぬと見える。
Even more weapons appear behind Gilgamesh. Every single one aims toward Saber, moving without Gilgamesh even touching them. Before only the hilts were visible, but now the blades emerge awaiting their master's command. This is the way knights should fight. Gilgamesh was never a swordsman. His many noble phantasms are deployed within time and space and become bullets under their master's command. This is why he is an archer. He is the strongest in that regard.
うまく避けろ。なに、運が良ければ手足を串刺す程度であろう。
With a single command, a rain of swords descends on her with godlike speed. Each of them possesses its own special, fatal power. She evades every single one of them, as if gracefully slipping between falling leaves. A sword from the front, a spear from the left, polearms from above and below, a three-pronged sword sweeping at her in an arc, a hammer larger than her streaks toward her like a meteor. She blocks, parries, dodges, and twists away from the final attack. Saber's breathing is labored, and she struggles to regain her ground after being put on the back foot. At that moment, she sees something behind her enemy, behind Gilgamesh. 47 noble phantasms are already deployed, all at the ready. She leaps with all her might, as if to prevent her from escaping. A flurry of noble phantasms races toward her, tearing up the air. A torrent of noble phantasms slams into the ground one after another. Her armor is shattered, her gauntlet is split open, and even her greaves are impaled. Saber manages to avoid sustaining any fatal wounds, but in that moment she sees something even worse. Beyond the range of noble phantasms, as if to finish off his exhausted prey, the king of heroes draws his favorite sword. Saber lets gravity carry her back to the ground. Lands hard and immediately pours magical energy into her sword, but she isn't sure if she can make it in time. The wind howls, the blade of light emerging as she raises her sword without waiting for the wind to finish unraveling. She doesn't bother confronting the ray of noble phantasms. She simply swings her sacred sword with all her might and all the swiftness she can muster. She's too late. Gilgamesh sweeps his other noble phantasms aside and swings air. I try to kick away the mud clinging to my ankles. My clothes are burnt and my skin is exposed. I jump away from the large tentacle. I can't feel my mud-coated right ankle, and I wasn't entirely sure I even still had my right leg until I used it to leap away. I check my body while I roll. I go, okay, yeah, it's still there. I just can't feel it. It's more or less intact. I can still probably. I jump in another direction to avoid the much relentless attack. Beside me, I hear a splash. A scent of burning earth wakes my dizzy head, and I push myself back up to my feet. The burning sensation sears its way down my back. What the hell? I shake it off and jump to the closest clear ground. The mud's pursuit relents. I can no longer see any of the black mud that surrounded me. I bit my lip. I dodged and ran all over the place, but in the end, I'm right back here. I called my breathing and looked up to him to show he hasn't broken my spirit. But immediately it's not moved at all. He's watched me run around. No matter how many deep breaths I take, my heart won't stop pounding. It's warning me that it's at its limits. It needs rest. My heart is ready to burst if I don't rest. That's how rapidly it's thumping in my chest. It's all but jumping out of my mouth at the sleep. I can't do anything. I can't get near Kodomine. I can't stop that black mud. There's not enough time for me to hold back about using projection. It's my own limit. If there's no way forward, I just have to project. I just have to project Saber Sword. I should be able to cut through that black mud and give me a chance to rush Kodomine.
なんだそれで終わりか諦めたのならそうと言え
The moment he speaks. The tidal wave of mud crashes over me. I look up just in time to dodge. The mud itself isn't bad. It's slow compared to Saber's strikes when we sparred, and it doesn't change direction so it's easy to dodge. That only applies when there's just one tentacle. I can't handle multiple attacks at once, or those that strike from behind as soon as I've dodged another. As a result, I can only move around and still mud slowly suffers. Get away. There's no time to rest. I'm not going to be able to use my projection. Projection requires me to form an image of a weapon from the very beginning, so I need at least a full minute of concentration. But if I give Kodamine an opening like that, the only thing left of me will be smoke and bones. Everywhere the mud touches me, I go numb. At least it's not painful. But if the mud covers my entire body, I might not even know whether I'm not dead or alive. If that happens, I'm a goner. I'd melt away bones and all. I can only run. I know it's only a matter of time until I run out of steam, but I have to keep running for now. I have no chance of reaching Kodamine while all I'm doing is avoiding the mud. The mud pours like a waterfall behind him, so trying that way is an option even. If I'm going to have any chance of getting near him, I have to do something about this mud. I can't believe it. I picked now of all times to trip. Kodamine stares down at me as if I were a piece of trash. He points a finger at me. Several snake heads rear out from the lake. What the? Get up. I try to get up before I get. I fall. Snakes pursue me. But I still fall. Why? Black mud splashes over the back of my neck. Why? Now that I look at this, my right leg is tight.
そこまでか。少しは楽しめると期待したが、所詮は桐継の息子。つくづく益にならぬ連中だ。
What? I look up. I'm still conscious. My wrists and neck are bound in chains, but I can still feel my body. Why don't you finish me off?
無論、すぐ終わらせるとも。だがそれでは芸がなかろう。お前は桐継の贋作だからな。奴に受けた10年前の負債は、お前の死で返してもらう。
My skin burns where the mud touches it. It feels like acid is seeping from my pores. I grip my teeth, trying to endure the pain and check my right leg. It's completely black. I can't feel it and it won't move. I need to either get this mud out of me or pour magical energy through the affected areas to push out the coagulated blood. Either way, the moment I try to move my right leg, I'll probably tear off every muscle in it. Fine, I don't care, but why do you hate Kiritsugu so much? Did him destroying the Holy Grail get to you that much?
なに、近親憎悪というやつだ。私と桐継は似ていたからな。奴の行為は全てが勘に触ったよ。ちょうどお前が私に嫌悪を抱くのと変わらない。
Cut the crap! Don't you dare say that Kiritsugu and you are similar.
なるほど。お前にとってはそうだろう。何しろ奴は私を見逃すほどの善人だったからな。
Oh, I see. Oh, I can hear the contempt off this
あ
man.
の大火災を引き起こした私を倒しただけで命までは取らなかった。それが間違いだったことをお前は知っているはずだ。桐継さえ私を殺しておけば、あの孤児たちは穏やかな日常を送れたのだろうからな。
You...
反論できまい。だが私にとってもそれは不快な事実だった。私がではない。あれほど冷酷な魔術師だった男が敵を助けたという事実こそが不快だった。
That story again. Saber told me before that Kiritsugu was a first-class mage and he would do anything to accomplish his goals. But then...
だが、奴の過ちはそんなことではない。奴が犯した過ちはな、聖杯を壊しただけでこの戦いが終わったと思い込んだことだ。故に、奴はお前に何も伝えず、聖杯戦争は終わったのだと楽観し、この呪いに侵されたまま人生を終えた。道家といえば道家だな。奴は自身を呪った私を見逃し、その果てに数年足らずで命を落とした。自分はことを成したと、聖杯戦争を終わらせたのだと、勘違いの達成感を得たままでな。
Why, you... Hold on. Does that mean Kiritsugu died because of Kodamine? What did the peaceful face he had on the night of his death mean?
そうだ。最後に聞いておこう。桐継の最後はどうだったのだ、エミヤシロ。息子であるお前に後を託し、何やら満足していったわけか。 なんという道家ぶりだ。何一つとしてなせず、息子であるお前に責任を押し付け、さぞ滑稽に消えたのであろうな。
Shut the fuck up. There was a cat in my room, and I just kind of let it sit there until it's, started, reaching at me to get out. I can't get the ground. I forced my leg to move, flooding it with magical energy. Muscles tear, but I ignore it as I lunge forward on all fours like a wild animal.
そうだ。その程度の気概がなくては話にならん。
Kodamine holds his hand over the waterfall behind him. I don't know what he's thinking. That cascade of mud is a curse so dense it can be seen. It would be fair to call it a mass of magical energy meant only to destroy people. There's no room to modify it, to change its shape. Anyone who touches that mud will be contaminated by its potent curse and then dissolve as if the stuff were digesting them, which means the pain and fear felt in those dying moments lingers as magical energy, becoming the next curse to seek out the living. Whoever touches that stuff will die. Any who touch it will die unless they can get that mud out of themselves. Even so, the priest sticks his hand into the waterfall smoothly.
褒美だ。切り継ぐと同じ末路をたどれ。
He fills his hand with darkness. I know instinctively that this will be different from before. A flash of light illuminates the world. The moment I realize it's the light of Saber's noble phantasm.
アンディマユ。
The priest's words plunge the world into darkness. She'd been blinded by light a moment ago, but now she's cast into darkness. If she had been conscious, she would have seen that it was a black polar night. The darkness was momentary, but it was not darkness. It was a swarm of tiny graces. The darkness sweeps her body away, and the discomfort jolts her to wakefulness. I sigh. The first thing her returning consciousness brings her is pain. Whatever parts of her were not protected by armor are horribly burned, and her flesh has been brutally savaged by blades of all sorts. She is a dismal sight.
私は
Ea defeated her. Gilgamesh unleashed his noble phantasms, and she could not defend against so many. Then Ea struck her. She barely managed to deflect it with Excalibur, but the damage to her body was too severe. Her wounds heal on their own without using magical energy, but even the protection of the sacred sword sheath is unable to return her to full health in an instant. And then...
ここまでだセイバー。よもやその体でまだ敗北を認めぬなどと言わぬだろうな。
Gilgamesh walks forward, not a scratch on his armor. Saber lies on the ground, looking up at her enemy. There's nothing she can do right now. Nothing can stop him from doing whatever he likes with her now.
ギルガメッシュ今の光は
Despite the situation, Saber is more concerned about the light. That flash of light, that deep darkness that welled up from the far side of the temple and for a moment covered the world itself. She doesn't want to think about it, but that darkness might have been aimed at Shiru.
今の光か。お前ならばわかろう。あれ、琴峰が聖杯から直接呼び出したのだろうな。聖杯の中には、この世のすべてを呪うなどというものがあるのだそうだ。先ほどから見えているあのお濁はな、聖杯から漏れている残りカスに過ぎん。その本体を出されたのだ。お前のマスターとて、もはやこの世にはおるまい。
そんなことは
Saber wills her body to move, but she knows she can't. She can't just lay down though.
嘘だシローは生きているまだちゃんと
She can still feel her connection with her master. It's weak, like the faint embers of a fire on the verge of going out, but Shiru is alive. She has to keep going. If you fight something unheard of or incomprehensible, Shiru will be no match for it. Saber clings to that faint warmth and again wills herself to move. But it's useless. Even the sacred sword sheath needs a few more minutes to restore her.
もはや手遅れだ。おとなしくしていろよ、セイバー。お前が何をしようが次期聖杯は溢れ出す。10年前の再来だ。ただし、こたびの義は、俺ではなく、お前に与えられたものだがな。
The Golden Knight smiles as he turns his gaze up to the burning red sky.
喜べ、セイバー。あれを浴びれば、お前も俺と同じになれる。 この世で肉を持ち第二の生を謳歌できよう。まあもっとも俺のように自我を保てるとは限らんが。
Question: Have you retained your sanity? Saber looks up at him, bewildered. She can sense the immensity of the curse. It is a magnificent cluster of magical energy. With so much power, any magecraft would be possible. Were caster to wield it, the possibilities would be endless. But it's a double-edged sword. It curses humans and only humans. Even heroic spirits would not be able to remain themselves after coming into contact with that curse. That's when she realizes Gilgamesh, a decade ago, that corruption even sold out the most ancient king of heroes. Then,
ギルガメッシュ、あなたは
he's gone mad.
ほう、そう思うか、騎士よ。
Gilgamesh looks down at Saber, laughing merrily. Strange sleight of character for him, but the look seems somehow appropriate.
侮るな。あの程度の呪い、飲み干せなくて何が英雄か。この世すべての悪？はっ、俺を染めたければその3倍は持ってこい。良いかセイバー、英雄とはな、己が視界に入るすべての人間を背負うもの。この世のすべてなぞとうの昔に背負っている。
Hearing those words, Saber gasps. She knows in that moment that she will never understand this heroic spirit. His unthinkable arrogance, the staggering ego leading him to believe heaven and earth exist only for him, his ruthless choices that bear no regard for any but himself. All of these things are completely opposite to her own beliefs of what it is to be king. But he was a king. Even Saber cannot deny that. No other servant than Gilgamesh could have retained their sense of self after being bathed in that immensely powerful curse.
そうだな。泥を飲ませるのはいいが、それで自我を失われては楽しみがない。どれ、今のうちに婚姻を決めておくか。
ギルガメッシュ、貴様。
なんだ、手荒く扱われるのは趣味ではないか。ならば慣れておけ。女と食事に出し惜しみはしない主義でな。
Mother.
気の向くままに奪い。
Saber glares up at Gilgamesh as she hangs upside down.
サーバントとしてマスターに義理を立てているわけか。くだらんな。たかが霊樹の縛りでこの体をくれてやっていたとは。
それは違う。勘違いをするな、ギルガメッシュ。私は誰にも従わない。初めからこの体にそんな自由はないのだ。
I don't think that's the definition of the word freedom.
ほう。ではどうあっても俺のものにはならないというのか。
His red eyes break over Saber. They are entirely devoid of human emotion. If she disobeys, he will kill her, no matter how attached she may be to something. If it does not obey him, he will simply destroy it. That is simply how Gilgamesh sees the world. Saber doesn't look away. She simply glares hatefully at Gilgamesh.
ギルガメッシュ、私は誰のものにもならない。私はすでに国のものだ。この身は女である前に王なのだから。
She's not saying this to anyone in particular. She's simply expressing the tiny warmth still within her heart.
何を言うかと思えば笑わせるなセイバー。王にとって国とは己のものに過ぎない。何もかも支配できぬのならば王などという超越者は不要なのだ。まったく。アーサー王よ、そんなだからお前は国によって滅ぼされたのだ。
Golden Knight mocks her for her naivete. Her heart is set now.
ああ、その通りだ。だが英雄王よ、そんなだから貴様は自らの国を滅ぼしたのだ。
such fierce spirit. Saber twists her entire body, using the weapon to kick Gilgamesh in the face with three blades. Gilgamesh releases her. Saber stretches her arms out and arrests her fall, then springs upward.
男子を足毛におのれどうやら本格的にしつけられたいらしいなセイバー
She closes her eyes and looks within herself. Country turned on you. It's not news to her. Since her summoning of Saber, she's been hearing those words over and over. It's different with him. He grew angry with her as if it had been about him, but he also thought her actions were worthy of pride. She knows what she must do. Even if she has no hope of victory, she cannot stop here. She needs to do something while she can still feel that warmth inside her. She has to get to our master as fast as she can. She's about 8 meters from Gilgamesh. She positions herself at the ideal distance for intercepting an attack, which she's just experienced firsthand. Her body won't move the way she wants. She can barely grip her sword, and her legs are hardly able to bear her weight. Even a weak blow would be too much for her now. But she shows neither weakness nor hesitation.
一言聞いておくが
Even Gilgamesh feels he has to prepare himself. The Golden Knight readies his eyes on his opponent.
それは正気か
Saber doesn't answer, but her determination is there to see in her eyes.
よかろうならば加減はなしだ
The air was self-willed. The air, the sword of rupture from the domestic king, said was by heaven and earth feels horror. Gilgamesh continued here as he readies his supreme sword to find to put an end to his enemy. The atmospheric vortex it creates the sheer quantity of converging magic far exceeds Saber's scale.
消えろ目障りだ
Gilgamesh raises his sword. Saber mirrors the movement in perfect synchronicity. Their eyes meet for an instant. Gilgamesh flourishes his sword. But Saber's sword falls to the ground because he lacks spectacular defense. Light which can sever all things bursts through her. Unable to do anything, she's swallowed up by their legs. The moment I'm engulfed in darkness, hell itself is imprinted on my mind. The 5-star battle. Life, body, imprisonment, humiliation, and finance. Let the myriad sins, mud, darkness, and malice continue to surround and punish all. Eliminate human rights through decapitation, exile, and repression. Let the body descend into a state of torment and debauchery. Eliminate group consensus by forfeiting honor. Die. Ridicule through greed and arbitrary decisions that freeze assets and property. Imprisonment, fines, death penalty, crimes committed in the name of personal prejudice, crimes committed to satisfy selfish desires, crimes committed unconsciously, crimes for claiming self-conscious, crimes, civil disturbance, solicitation, fraud, theft, robbery, kidnapping, self-harm, violence, arson, bombing, infringement, manslaughter, group violence, professional negligence, overconfidence. Accidents by intoxication, cover-ups, crimes for personal gain, crimes committed in the name of the ego, crimes committed in the name of love, crimes committed in the name of virtue, crimes committed for themselves, theft and embezzlement, fraudulent cover-ups, contraband, crime, hate, grudge, attack, dirty, roll, dirty, tone, silence, violence, victims, atone, then supposed to put by non-yours, know your consciousness, the rectifiers. Know the penalty of your sins. Herein lies the goodness of man, so plentiful that he is unaware of the totality of what he is supposed to. Know the violence of the crime. Know the authority of the highest crime. The malignancy of man is here so rare and so hard to find that it stands out sharply 109, one malignant and honest self. The malignant strives strong in the range of mighty goodness in order to compete with the body non matches the 5-star penalty. For you, solicitation, fraud, theft, robbery, kidnapping, self-harm, tyranny, arson, infringement, dirty, tone, violence, crimes, victims, atone, die to atone! My brain's been miserable. The mud eating away at my body does not prolong. It mercilessly robs me of my warmth. I feel the horrible curse crushing all my senses, crushing me. Darkness I can't look at directly. Other than I can't ignore. Times I want to run from all men sins. I'm going to die. Anyone caught in this darkness shouldn't be able to resist letting it devour them just from sheer pain and misery. But Kodamine said it once, that's the first what killed Kiritsugu. Fast enough to banish darkness. Heat returns to my body. Blood rushes through me. Wounded as I am, it helps me get back to my feet. Why not? I mean, Hemiya Kiritsugu shouldered all of this for years. Did he die his own wishes unfulfilled because those voices never stopped screaming at him to atone? He said he wanted to be a champion of justice. He ran around like an idiot trying to be useful to someone, and in the end, nobody let him do what he wanted to do. Even so, he still pursued something, the ideals he'd given up on. And then in the end, the words of some silly kid lifted a burden from him, and he finally let himself believe that everything would be okay. I have to stand up. I said I was going to take his place and carry on his dream. If I really am the son of Emiya Kiritsugu, the champion of justice, I can't let the bad guy defeat me. Sokka told me I need to win even if it kills me. Saber told me Kodamine is the enemy I have to defeat. Even Kodamine said if I'm going to fight, I should put my life on the line. That's right. What can I put on my line here if not for my life? I don't have anything else to offer anyway. Arrgh! I desperately leap out of the basket. I can hear a surprise. My throat is burning. Every breath is like swallowing glass. Don't care. Tears of frustration stream down my face. I might just burst from sheer anger before the curse can tear me apart.
バカな。あれを振り払ったというのか、お前が。
I pushed my body, forcing it to my one hand goes behind my back. I gripped the dagger and considered this whole time.
呆れたな。あれから逃れたかと思えばその短絡思考。もはや万策尽きたというところか。
Shut your damn mouth! I never had a plan in the first place. I run. Kodamine sticks his hand into the waterfall behind him, draws out another one like that.
手はサーバントの後を追うがいい。先の光はセーバーが破れたものだ。お前にはもはや誰の助けもない。
There's no more hesitation now. If I get my hands on Kodamine, he'll regret that he's just said more than anything else. I still have command spell in my hand. I don't know if I'm alive or dead, but that is the proof. I can still feel the truth. As long as I still have my command spell, Saber's still with me. And if she's here right, she must have defeated Gilgamesh and beheaded me right now. And I don't know if I greet her with open arms when that happens, but I know her enough to know she'll be mad. So I'm going to beat you here enough to fulfill the promise I made. Darkness closes in on me. Kodamine releases a giant massive curse. My body begins to crumble, starting with the extremities. I won't look away. If this is my role, I'm not done yet.
Enuma Elish!
All lines put space in that. Space itself. With a flash of light, the horrible air races the vortex of fear. The sheer intensity prevents Saber from using her own arm, so she lowers her sword and lets herself slay as if flat. Light draws near. Saber swings through the dog. Bear's hair feels capable of defending him and the flash. The that furious dance light and wings can annihilate everything in its path. Nothing can stand up to it. It is a mutable fast. Both have noticed a few hours ago. For once, our song supply comes down from Saber, but from the golden night, Ed continues to release his punch match range, unleashing a ravenous system. Saber is on stepping into the light of Ed's power. Her silver almost cracks splinter every layer of magical energy. It's not a second when she closes the gap between herself and Gilgamesh. The counter as destruction Saber releases every drop of power of the searching feet scorches the air in all directions, doing a flash of light. Two titanic rocks and the power so vast and fierce, visible before their feet. Digital Excalibur cannot be down. Even if Saber wishes to light, the section of the sense by concentration is known to be back to the skull. The scales tilt favorably, and Excalibur's light creatures pushing Saber back.
そうか、血迷ったかセイバー。
The Golden Knight draws air back, but then he sees Senju renewed reckless attack, so he pours yet more magical energy, and no turning back. All there is to do is use the power to utterly annihilate. Air cycles faster, near max speed, the light that fell the Saber touching Excalibur down. But in the instant before that happens, Saber darts. A tiny opening created by Excalibur's power allows it to take a single switch. In the instant she reaches that switch, the noble phantasm appears. Darkness buffets Shiro as if he were caught in the wind tunnel. There is no avoiding or deflecting darkness that coats space itself. Those swallowed by the darkness can only be consumed by it. He's corroding from the fingertips inward. His legs kick at the air as if swimming. His outstretched arms are solid in the black mud. His vision fails him. It's like being erased. Shiro fears himself shrinking, but he refuses to die. He tries not to look away, pours every ounce of strength he has into resisting. He fights the darkness covering him, the pain trying to melt his body. And the curse trying to dissolve his mind. It's all in vain. Nobody human can resist this corruption. And yet he continues to move. His arm is still raised, held out, trying to grab something. But his heart is already broken. His thoughts are smothered in darkness, and soon it will consume him. But in that
あな
moment,
たが私の
why does he remember that voice? A light in the darkness. The moment he realizes it's that light, everything runs in reverse. The switch flips. His thoughts gain speed, creating crackling sparks and form the shape of with astonishing speed. Treson. He remembers the spell to begin projecting. In that instant, it's complete, skipping every step of the manufacturing process. He didn't need to reproduce it from scratch. The shape had already been engraved into his very soul. It had been part of Emiya Shido for so long that he perfectly memorized it.
あなたが私の鞘だったのですね
His fingertips desperately reaching, moving again. They grab a hold of the object he created without concentration or spellcasting. The world turns its head. Darkness eradicated by golden light. In Shido's grasp, duplicated fall asleep. His saber sheath. And so, as Aya's all-destroying light burns away everything in its path, the saber releases their own noble phantasm. What had appears before is without question the sacred sword and sheath. The mystics which shroud themselves are unknown, but the shield repels Aya's light. This is beyond simply defending its wielder. Instead, it cuts her off completely. The wall that keeps the filth from the outside world from Fairyland, the wall that cannot be reached, forever isolated from the rest of it. Saber is protected by the sheath of the sacred sword, and for a moment she exists apart from all reason and logic in this world. It is the greatest protection in the world. Nothing, not even the 5 magics, can pierce this perfect defense. And so the sheath is named Avalon. Avalon is the place King Arthur is said to have gone after dying, the utopia the king dreamed of but could not yet reach. Gilgamesh sees the Grim Reaper raising its sight. But it is too late. Aya won't stop rotating. Gilgamesh can't. How could he? Who could have ever believed in a dark so much magical energy? Such unimaginable power could ever be lost.
おのれそのような小細工で
A streak of blue surges forward. Saber's armor is gone. She shed her armor so she can use its magical energy in her sword.
X
セイバー
The moment he takes the sheath, the darkness is dispelled. The darkness surrounding Emiya Shido, the darkness that contaminated his body, fades all at once. But this should come as no surprise. The sacred sword sheath protects its owner. That filthy monk cannot possibly destroy the embodiment of the utopia the girl saw. He runs. In the instant the darkness is dispelled, he moves with all the speed of a
東映魔術貴様何者
The priest so sure of his own strength, the boy who could afford no such arrogance to face off. It is but an instant, but that instant decides the battle. Killer Kodamine! Emiya Shido runs, sometimes stumbling onto all fours. In one hand he holds the egg. He scrambles forward on his hands and knees towards the priest. Shiro doesn't stop. He thrusts the dagger of retribution into the priest's chest. The priest turns slowly before he can move. Shiro steps down on one foot to ground himself and turns into a circle using the momentum of his staff. He inverts himself like a top. He floods his left hand with magical energy, and like a whirlwind. What? His magical energy pours into the Azoth blade, along with the word to trigger its release. Saber swings her golden sword. She must not have had the energy to push herself back up. Saber keeps her sword down, head down. Gilgamesh stares wide-eyed at the knight as she cuts him in half. In the silence after, the wind whispers through the compound. There remains not a trace of the light that had flooded the area seconds ago. The two knights do not exchange words. They simply stand facing each other as the battle ends. Gilgamesh sighs. He lifts a hand and traces a finger along her cheek as if to check the pain.
憎らしい女だ。最後までこの俺に歯向かうか。
His golden armor begins to fade. The bloody king of Hera starts to disappear.
だが許そう。手に入らぬからこそ美しいものもある。
His finger slips away from her. The arm he'd raised to touch her fails weakly.
ならばこそ俺がお前に敗れるは必要だったか。
He clicks his tongue in displeasure, and then at the
で
end,
はな、騎士王。いや、なかなかに楽しかったぞ。
he smiles ironically and vanishes. Pale blue sparks flicker along the priest's form. They spread in all directions from where the dagger protrudes from his chest. No flesh falls away, and there's no sign of bleeding. Even so, the battle comes to an end. He's not even looking at me. Instead, he stares down at the dagger, his chest in confusion. The wind is blowing. A gust of wind blows from the hollow overhead, muffling the sound around him, and the silence that
な
follows.
ぜお前がこの剣を持っている。
Kodamini's voice is low, mumbling. It's not mine, Tasaka lent it to me. I'm not sure how long he was thinking. He takes a deep breath and finally moves having been motionless from the moment I charged him and impaled him with the blade.
そうか。以前気まぐれでどこぞの娘にくれてやったことがあった。なるほど。私も衰えるはずだ。
Kodamine collapses. I watch it all unfold. Even on the brink of death, he spoke of himself as if he were talking about someone else. Finally, the priest sinks into that which he summoned, the very thing he wished for. And that is the end of Kodamine Kire, the true end of a long battle. With the enemy defeated, only one task remains. The dark hollow in the sky. The mud has stopped pouring from it, but that eerie void continues to quicken. It's the Holy Grail, the omnipotent grail said to be given to the winner of this war. The wind howls. With Kodamine gone, the power blinding Ilia vanishes. Ilia's been released from the hollow. Now she sleeps beside me. She doesn't seem to be in danger of dying. She'll probably wake up after we go home and have Tasaka look her over. The war has ended. No one else will get hurt. We won't have to lose anyone else now. No more masters, and the servants will disappear now that their roles are over. I knew this was gonna happen. I climbed those long stairs with her earlier. We already said our goodbyes. All that's left is to bring the curtain down on this whole war. I look up at the hollow and wait. My heart is empty as that void. And then she appears. She walks straight towards me, looking no different than when we first met. She stops once we're close enough to touch each other. We neither ask about each other's well-being nor offer any congratulations. This has already been decided. There's only one thing left to do.
聖杯を破壊します。それが私の役割です。
Saber starts walking forward. The strong winds coming from the hollow do not deter her. She approaches one step at a time. She's within range. She quietly readies her sword and looks up at the black hollow. I just watch from where I stand. I clench my fists so hard they bleed. I bite my lip and I try to hold back the feelings fighting for my expression. I try to burn the image of her into my mind. And then
マスター、命令を。あなたの命がなければ、あれは破壊できない。
her back still to me. She tells me to use my final command spell. When the Holy Grail is destroyed, Saber will disappear. Now since Saber will destroy the Holy Grail within our hands, she won't have to become a servant. She only became a servant because she sought the Holy Grail. Destroying the Holy Grail should also void her contract, since she will have to choose to do it. The moment she destroys the Holy Grail, her life will end, but she will remain king forever.
シロ、あなたの声で聞かせてほしい。
Saber. Every time I hear her voice, I want to scream. I want to tell her not to go. I want to scream my real honest desire. I want her to stay. And yet, I can't ever say that. I love Saber. I want her to be happy more than anything else. I want her to be meant to be with her forever. But if I really love her, that's not what I should do. I love Saber for fighting her hardest, even when she was mean. She gave up everything while she was torn apart. She still held to her conviction, even to the very end. If I think that is beautiful, if I think that is something worth protecting, then I can't destroy everything she stood for just for my own happiness. She was born a king, and that's how she lived. Nothing can change that. From the moment she drew the sword and made her vow, she was king, nothing else. That is her conviction. She fought her battles until the very end, believing she was doing the right thing. The dream of a young girl named Artori. She abandoned her own life and chose to be king. She chose to fight. Even when she was told that everything she does would go unrewarded, she still wielded that sword and kept to her vow as king. That lasted for many years. I can't do anything to tarnish the pride she held until her final moments. Saber, fulfill your duty, please. My voice is ever with emotion. Light flares around us. The brilliant ray cuts the hollow in front of us in half, leaving no trace of it. Nothing remains. The mountain's summit has been blasted away, leaving only a smoldering wasteland behind. In the distance, the first rays of dawn light the sky. A glimmer of gold peeks over the horizon. My left hand hurts. The final command spell disappears, and then I accept that it is finally over.
これで終わったのですね。
Yeah, this is the end. There's nothing left.
そうですか。では私たちの契約もここまでですね。あなたの剣となり、敵を撃ち、近江を守った。この約束を果たせてよかった。
Yeah, you did well, Saber. I don't know what else to say. Saber's far away. I don't try to run to her. The sun rises. The wind starts to pick up. A golden glimmer shines, seeming to last forever. In it,
最後に一つだけ伝えないと。
I could hear the determination in her voice. Yeah, what is it? I try to at least sound strong. Saber sways. She turns. Saber looks straight at me and says, her voice clear.
シロ、あなたを愛している。
She said it. Wind blows over the mountaintop. For a moment I close my eyes, blinded by the morning sun. Then I open them again. I don't think I was surprised. I just had a feeling. Our goodbye was always going to be like this. All I see is the wasteland. Saber's gone, carried off by the gust of wind. Just like when she appeared, she left with grace without a trace. Yeah, it's so like you. There are no regrets in my voice. For every memory of both of what I've lost and what I've gained remains in my heart. I'll keep them all there forever. I look out at the rising sun, hoping I'd never forget any of this, and that none of it fades from my mind for a long time to come. I watch the morning glow spreading over the distant land below. It reminds me of the golden fields that fall on.